What's going on, everybody? This is a Real Bodybuilding Podcast competitor series, and I'm with my man, James Hollingshead, or should I say Hollingshead? The Shed is here.
The Shed. The Shed t-shirts arrived, so you can say the Shed now.
So what's going on, dude? You're there, you're tanned, everything is time.
Yeah, I got the first two coats on. Everything's running really smooth. Fuck, man. Like,
how many coats does a white guy like you have to do?
I'm going to go for like 6, I think. 6 at least. Honestly, man. So,
you're not exaggerating, are you?
No, like I've had 2 today, and she's going to come back around tonight and do 2, and then I think there's going to be 2 again tomorrow. So the more the merrier. You know, when you think you're dark, you're not dark enough. So
I agree. So we have been watching you, me as your friend and everybody as fans, been watching you get ready for this show methodically and with a focus that I haven't seen in a long time. And we kind of know what you've been doing, but what has the last couple of days been looking like? Have you increased carbs? Have you started to like fill back out? Like what are we doing here?
The last few days have been really, really like precision based so I'm basically posing for Patrick after every meal.
Okay.
And we're just taking it from there. Like we slightly reduced protein and slightly up carbs.
Yeah.
Introduced a little bit of fat with each meal, just so the carbs don't burn through crazy fast.
Yeah.
All the kind of usual things, but just done in a way that's precise to my body having led up to this point, how it has. Because obviously everything you do now, it's great saying do this, but it depends what you've done prior to. And everything's kind of led to the point that we're able to do this. So I'm not like, don't get me wrong, there's not heavy carb loading at all.
James,
it's just
sorry to interrupt you, man. Is there any way you can like place your phone on something?
I would like to, because
is there a desk or a dresser or something you can put it on?
You know what? Let me try and just modify the room.
Just because it
would be better.
I know people are going to complain because it's shaky, so I'm trying to like reduce. Yeah, that's better. That's good.
All right, that's cool. That's sweet. That's good. Better for me as well, because I need to fucking hold it.
No, it's very good. So, and now we can see how fucking jacked you are too, so it's better. Go on. Everything's very precision based.
What was your last sentence?
So the last thing I was asking, well, before we go on, people are going to wonder why I'm all wet. I just came from cardio, and James said he was ready, so I'm ready. So I didn't have a chance to change my shirt. But anyway, the last thing I asked you was, you said everything was very precision based, and you would increase carbs a little bit and reduce your protein a little bit. Now, one of the things I want to ask you is, you probably don't have to carb load very heavy, because I know you didn't drop like super, super, super low during the prep.
No, and that's the thing. It's like most people would assume that you just do, and they make that error. I'm kind of floating around maybe 30%, 40% more carbs per meal than I normally do, just to let it trickle in and my body not have to struggle.
Yeah.
Because remember, activity's down as well. So activity's down and food's up.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go in. It's gonna go where it's going. I think gentle on the stomach. It's much better than having to force loads of shit in.
Yeah, no, I think it's the best approach. I think the best I ever looked on stage was when I was already kind of loaded. And then when it came, there was not really a carb load. Like I remember like my best showing ever was like 400 grams for the day.
Yeah.
The last 3 or 4 days. Cause I was never flat. So we didn't have to go to 1,000 grams or 800 grams or anything like that.
You know yourself, the more that you have to push something, the more room for error there is.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. If you can do something within like nice margins, then the room for error is less. And even if you don't land 100%, you're going to land closer to 100% than you would have if you get it wrong. Yeah. So I'd rather know that doing this approach, we could be 90-95% guaranteed than take the odd risk that could shoot for 90% to 100, but also could be as bad as 70.
Yeah. No, and that's the beautiful thing is when you're ready ahead of time and your diet's not drastic, then you can play a very safe game and kind of just walk on.
Yeah, and it's easy to monitor that way, because obviously you just do it meal by meal. You can see changes happening if they are. And, you know, if you have to taper back the next meal, you do. If you taper up, you do. It's that's why, like, in these last few days and moments, that you have to be a bit more considerate of. It's not a daily thing. It's a momentarily thing. So just be a bit more patient and dissect your days up a little bit and take it as it comes, rather than thinking this is today's plan. Because it's subject to change. It's definitely subject to change. we haven't had to change anything really. It's all been kind of sitting in place. Yeah. And I'm just, you know what? Emotionally, I'm just so like content with being a pro bodybuilder and being able to live this life. It's like, I know people say it and it sounds cheesy, but when I think back about the road to get here, and you know yourself being in this industry for such a long time and working your ass off to become the person you are, there's just something really like you have to just pat yourself on the back and just say, like, regardless of what happens here, like, you've come a very long way and you've got to be proud of yourself. Of course, we're here to do damage and we're here to win, and that's something that I would love to try and do, and I want to try and do, and I feel like it's possible. But also just try and remind yourself at the same time that if you look to yourself a year ago versus now, are you impressed with the changes? And if you are, you're doing something right. So yeah, that's it's trying to just remember, being appreciative at the same time. I want to kick ass, don't be wrong. I want to go there and spank.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'll try and add kind of my thoughts to it. I'm actually very jealous of the place you're in, and it's not. People think, well, are you jealous because you're not going to compete? And he is, and it's not about the place you're in right now. There's a mental, almost like a climax, where you've been building this prep for 16 weeks, and it's an emotional. I can't count the number of times where I've broken down and start crying, like the morning of a show or the moment after prejudging, or even I remember one time the night before a show, because I looked and I was so proud of what I had done. Yeah. And you've reached this point, and it almost seems like, don't get me wrong, everybody wants to win, but it almost seems like just accomplishing what you accomplished and just getting to where you got and putting yourself through the torture and making it is like almost a reward in itself.
It definitely is. But I'll tell you what it takes. Sometimes it takes having friends who are like-minded like yourself to remember those things. Because we're in a fickle industry where people can point fingers and say, oh, well, you flopped at the show, or blah, blah, blah. You didn't look as good as you could have. It only takes people to understand, like yourself, to have these conversations to then truly appreciate where you are. Because I know that I could get on the phone to you at any time, and you are someone who's credible, number one, who has been there and understands that I might be at my best today. I might not be at my best tomorrow, but you were at your best and you improved at some point, and that's a massive thing. I don't think people understand this is a difficult game to land. You know, it's not easy to be your best because, you know, timing is everything. But you know, what thing I've changed this year is just understanding, talking to people that have been there and who share the appreciation for it. Yeah. You just have to remember those things and just think about that all the time. And tomorrow, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to be a bodybuilder. Yeah. Monday, I'm going to wake up. The show will be done on Sunday. I'll still wake up Monday and I'll be like, I want to be a bodybuilder. It's never going to change. And shows are important. Yes, they are. And they are great for your resume. And if you can pull off a few wins in your career, you've done a fucking outstanding job. And that is obviously the goal. But the most important part of being a bodybuilder is just making sure that, are you living the life you want to live and how you want to live it? And I am. And that's what I care about. And I love it that I've got brothers like yourself that I can pick up the phone to and just say, you know what, we all understand each other, man. This is the shit. Yeah. So
I noticed yesterday, I saw some Instagram stuff that you were out kind of walking around. And again, I got that same jealous feeling, because it's almost like you get to the place you're going to, wherever you're traveling to. For you, it's obviously Spain now. And you kind of know all the work is done. And your coach is like, you might do a 20-minute pump workout or something, but there's not really much to do anymore except eat and rest. Yeah. And it's nice to kind of get out and walk around and experience, just, it's like a calming effect almost.
Yeah, just breathe a little, you know, like you don't have to be locked up in a room.
You know, so how much exploring have you done? Like, have you been out and about?
Not a lot, but we pop out multiple times a day, you know, like we went to the marina yesterday. Literally just had a coffee, walked down the road and looked at all the things that I can't have, but I can't wait to be able to have, and tell myself that I will, you know. Literally walked into McDonald's to go for a piss and thought, you know what, I can't wait till I can have McDonald's. Just the things, you know, you know, it's Louis had like my boys with me, and like they're obviously not prepping, so they have an ice cream, and I encourage them to, because I want them to, and I want people to feel comfortable. Yeah, because I know that come, you know, Sunday night, Monday, I'll probably have a couple of days where I can do the same. Yeah, and I look forward to that. Like I do. You'd be a fool to say that you don't look forward to that little break. Yeah. You're a dumbass. If you say that you once Monday comes, you're having a full day of being back on prep. not going to at least have a breakfast. You're a nutter. You're a fucking nutter. I can't understand that. Like, just for the social aspect, like, there's probably a certain amount of people that you haven't really seen for a while that you could just arrange to have a nice breakfast.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that.
It's funny. I get that all the time. Sometimes, like, when I was getting ready for shows, people would be like, what's the first thing you're going to eat? And I would be like, honestly, aside from a Diet Coke or a Diet Pepsi, which is I love, but honestly, the most important part to me was always like my family would usually come to the show, or like my friends.
Yeah.
And the most important part to me, because, you know, when you're prepping, you everything goes by the wayside, social life, like everything. And it's nice to just be like, okay, the show's over. This isn't a cheat meal. This isn't a refeed. This is, I can do whatever I want, sit with my friends, enjoy like a couple hours of whatever I want.
This is the I haven't got to be on a set clock.
Yeah.
You know, wow. For the first time in, you know, like, I haven't had a meal off in over 6 months with Patrick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, when I say meal off,
that's insane, by the way.
I'm not going to say it's not. It is, because I've never done it like that. So, you know, I haven't had that sit down social kind of, just to sit there and breathe and take it in and be able to, like, not think about what macros are in front of me. Just for a minute would be nice. But, you know, on the flip side, don't get me wrong, I'm posing with Patrick daily now, and he's doing video calls with me now just to really push me to make sure I'm squeezing things hard. And I'll be damned if on fucking Sunday when I'm up there, I don't look like I'm battling as hard as I fucking can.
Oh, of course.
Like,
of course. Yeah.
Like I will literally, I'd rather pose until I collapse.
Yeah.
Knowing that the job has been done to my fullest abilities, if it hurts me all the way through my body, than to think I was half-assed up there. So I'm really looking forward to that first part. The first part is what allows me to feel good about the second part.
Oh, of course. Of course. And I don't want anybody listening to get the wrong idea. You know, we're talking about food and we're talking about what you're going to do after. And that's just us chopping it up. But the truth is, like,
yeah, exactly. That's us just shooting shit. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. The truth is, everybody knows you're 100% focused. Now, going back to the show, going back to the X's and O's, are you guys? I know Patrick's like crazy, like measure your salt, measure your water, like everything. So, like, are you doing any kind of sodium loading? Are you doing any kind of water loading? Or are you just everything's pretty stable?
Well, I've measured salt the whole way through this prep anyway. You know, I did a certain amount of grinds, and we're just reducing it slightly today, which is very easy to do when you count your salt grinds.
Yeah.
So that, and then water's just a specific amount of liters today and tomorrow. Today and yesterday, which isn't overly high. You know, we're not chugging down gallons of water. We're literally only on like 6 liters today.
Yeah.
Which isn't crazy. So everything's measured, but it's just like, you know, don't get me wrong, it's not obsessive measured. It's very easy to follow, and that's the main thing. Making it not feel like it's too much of a crazy chore.
So,
you know,
going into the show, discussing the show now, we were trying to do our predictions the other day. It's actually a little bit harder than I thought, but it's a very deep lineup. And one of the things is Rami is now no longer going to be competing. We were talking about predictions, and they're a lot harder to do than I thought because the lineup is very deep.
It's a very good lineup.
And the lineup is different. Like, you know, you have yourself, which is a mass guy, and then you have, like, you know, Rafa, who's a shape guy. The one thing is, Rami is no longer in the show. So I'm not sure how you feel about that, because I know part of you probably wanted to stand next to him to see how you measured up. So maybe you can talk about that a bit.
Yeah, like when I heard Rami was in it didn't change my focus at all. Normally I perform best at these shows when something last minute does get announced like that, like some big person's turn up. You know, I won't deny that now that he's not there, it opens up a door for us, because let's be real, the guy's had second in Olympia before. He's the top tier guy coming in.
Yeah.
So you'd be a fool and to misunderstand the kind of I suppose spectacle that is Rami if you would say he's just easy to beat, because he's definitely not. Because I've seen him even when he's not 100% still wipe the floor with people because of the size. And so him not being there is certainly obviously made everyone else probably feel a little bit more like they can win.
Yeah.
I feel like I can win. I definitely feel like I can win. I feel like I'm the most improved bodybuilder of everybody that's going into this lineup.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've got the best physique, and I'm not saying I've got the most ideal physique, but I think I've put the I think I've put most work into my physique over the last year consistently, and I just think it'll show, and I hope it shows. I really do. I think if there's a justification for paying dividends to people who committed to the sport, then hopefully my physique will reflect on stage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that anyone else isn't dedicated, because they are. They're absolutely dedicated. I just feel that after everything I've had this year going on, I feel like something's by my side. There's an energy and there's a focus that I feel other people might not have had. And I have the muscle. I have the condition. I'm structurally okay. I'm not the worst, and I feel that people are behind me. I've got a very good support network, and people want me to win.
Yeah.
You know,
I
think that's important. I think if people want you to win, I think then that's half the energy for you.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. When we were doing predictions, I was thinking about it, and everybody that's in the lineup that's going to be standing there, I don't know how much progress Lucas has made because he doesn't post a lot, but everybody else, like Reagan, Rafa, yourself, you know, the guys, Samson, have all improved. But I think out of all the ones that have proved, you and Reagan have probably made the most improvements.
Yeah, and I feel that they have been better in the past at getting it right. I think I've been the furthest off of getting myself right.
Yeah.
So I think that coupled with improving is why the gap might close even more, because they've all been very, I feel, consistent. I think they're good bodybuilders, better at doing the last part than I have been.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now being able to do the last part with Patrick and having that off season with Patrick, I think that if that's if it's going to show, it's going to show here. Basically, that's what I think. You know, it may be me just looking at it wrong, but in myself, the confidence is there to say that, okay, you're already good. You used to over diet. Now you've got more muscle and you haven't over dieted, and you're in good nick. So let's just see what happens.
It's okay. I got 2 more questions for you. I'm going to let you go because I know this is like a daunting task right now. One,
good.
I'll give you the easy one. You want the easy one first or the hard one first?
Let's go easy first.
Are you keeping the beard for the stage?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It'll be short and tidy.
Okay, good. The hard, is it going to be shorter than that, or is that what we're seeing?
It'll be about this length. We got to wear a mask anyway, so.
Oh, you got to wear a mask. Are you practicing your posing with a mask on?
Yeah, I've been wearing my trunks on my face.
I hope they're fucking clean, man.
Yeah, don't worry. I got a few pairs.
Okay, so the final question, a little bit deeper question, is what factor is Luke playing in all of this? Because I know he's been on your mind.
Massive. I could burst into tears now thinking about it. Like it's everything. I haven't had a moment till I really it's just been like I want to express this. It's been like at the back of my mind to do this, and it's just been such a fuel. Like I was in the gym, and it's like when things felt heavy, I just said to myself, what would Luke be saying in your ear? And you know, every time I did that, things started to feel suddenly a lot lighter. So I think there's a real reason. Like there's something to do with this. If this week pans out how it should, like in my eyes, then I owe a lot to the spirit of that man, because I feel like he's guided me along the way.
I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Luke's been a massive integral part, and there hasn't been a day where he hasn't been on my mind. And if this is for anybody, and if it's for someone, it's for Luke. Like every step that I've taken, and every time it's been hard, but the one person I thought about is him. And if it does pan out how I wish this weekend, then it's a victory for us both. Mm-hmm. It's a victory anyway. But if I did get the nod, then this is Luke's first win, because he carried me.
Yeah.
He carried me.
That's special, man. That's I didn't even realize you were going to say that. Okay. Well, I'm not going to keep you because the Wi-Fi connection is not great.
Hey, buddy.
James.
Yeah, mate.
I'm gonna wrap up with you on the phone. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's good.
All right. So this is all I want to say. Listen, thank you for taking the time to talk to us all that are waiting and watching and hoping that you win tomorrow.
No worries, buddy. Thank you, boss. Appreciate you.
And listen, have fun tomorrow, man. Soak it all up, and I hope I see you center stage.
Yeah, we'll do, buddy. I'll do my best for everybody. Thanks, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow, man. All right, brother.
See you guys.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right, man, that's it. So sorry, guys. The Wi-Fi connection was obviously not great. They're in Spain and they're at a hotel, so the Wi-Fi connection is not going to be awesome there. But I want to bring you a little bit of what James is doing, and I hope that was cool with you guys. And we'll see how it happens tomorrow. I hope he does awesome. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.